these lame dudes, we beat them out. No stopping this. In my way, might pop your lip. Ain't saying this awesomeness, but y'all looking like the opposite. We setting the bar. Y'all know who we are.
We're making history. Leaving a legacy. Nothing is stopping me. Better believe what we say. We're making history.
Now, I know I'm usually the last one on because I usually save the best for last, but since our president fell and busted his ass and hurt his wrist, at least that's what he tells us. I think he hurt his wrist. So that or his wife beats him, and he just ain't telling us it's one of the two. He might be in a domestic relationship. So, I'm the guy that you get to see first. So, as you know, we have other guys here. Also, we also have a special guest, but I'm going to save him for last for a special reason. Everyone knows this man, if you will, William H.D. Morgan.
If you will, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight? William D. Morgan here, coming at you for another episode of the Paradigm Shift Wrestling Podcast, where we shift the paradigm of professional wrestling. And now let me bring in the man who rules the roost up in Canada. He is the Moosin heavyweight champion of the world. Give it up for my man, Gene. What's up, man?
What's up tonight, guys? What's up tonight? This is a good face for us. We should have this more often. But we would like to have well wishes to our president, one and only Josh. Hope you come back to us all well. And now, Tommy, you can go ahead and introduce our very special guest.
Let me find it. There it is.
Boys, how are y'all doing tonight?
Wait a damn minute. Hold the hell on. I host 4 shows on this motherfucker, and he get a damn intro, his own intro?
Listen.
No. Hell no. Hell no. I want a brand new deal right now. Damn a corn dog. I want a whole new deal right now.
Oh, come on now. You got to get more sax in your life. I like good sax.
Good sax, man.
Good
I gotta have that sax in my life.
Today's music just isn't sexy enough.
There you go. I can see that as a character in Dallas, like just the reveal, like then your new character, A-list hours.
A-list.
I always say right now that in the promo world is his intro and Harry's is my two favorites. Both of them crack me up every time. I probably would play his intro every time for everybody if I could and get away.
Why not, right?
Why not? I mean,
listen, I get in the full gimmick to come on the show, and you all want to dress up like wrestling fans.
Well, as y'all know it, let me get back to where I'm supposed to be here. Since I had to exit out of that for that special intro. Well, it's that time. Now I have 2 questions. Should we ask them both? Or should I just let y'all?
Is that question number 1?
Is that question number 1? Yeah, that's question number 1.
No. Okay, that's the question.
I'll tell you what, we'll go with both of them. We just won't spend a lot of time on both of them. Okay. I said both of them. RYK already heard them. He thought they were both pretty good. So we'll go with both of them. The first one is, and like I told him, I don't know why I thought about this because everyone knows I can't stand fucking Bret Hart. But the first one is, if the Attitude Era never happened, does Bret Hart still stay on top, and for how long? Because it was the Attitude Era that it essentially killed Bret Hart. So, he couldn't take it. He's supposed to be a face, and they're supposed to cheer him. And he was a real world champion, damn it. He defended his title all over the world. He would do a job for anyone. He just wouldn't losing in fucking Montreal.
Let me drop the title of Montreal. Let me drop the title at the Raw the next night. Don't have it be in Montreal. Let me drop the title at Raw. Whatever, man.
He didn't care if he was going to hand the title over in Ottawa, but no, I think Brett would have. I think Brett would have still left at the same time because, and this is why I say this, because it was Vince who said he couldn't keep paying him, so the deal would have went through regardless.
Yeah,
Vince could have paid that man. He'd be lying. He'd be lying at his ass.
Well, Brett was there, even asked him like, "I'll take less money, Vince. I just want to stay."
But Tommy, refresh my memory. Wasn't that like a $75 million deal he was making overall?
75 million? Fuck no, it was $1 million deal.
It was $1 million deal. I know it was. I thought it was kind of on the high side.
Yeah, it wasn't an NFL contract, man. It was.
I thought it was something like that. No, I misspoke. WCW gave him a deal like that, didn't they? Or something close to it? 2 million, 3 million?
3 million, something like that. He was getting like $125,000 a week.
Man, well, fuck. Scott was getting like $5 million just to walk out and wear NWO t-shirts.
That's true. That's true. Man,
but no,
so I would have left too. I would have left too though, because they were getting away from Brett regardless.
Yeah,
he pretty much did his thing with Stone Cold. That was about it for him.
Well, that's pretty much what he.
That was the breaking point. Mm-hmm. You know, that was the breaking point because they ended up having him turn heel, which he never wanted to do. Yep. You know, he wants to be a face and be the hero. So, and then they were cheering Austin, who's supposed to be a heel. So, for an old school guy like Brett, that was just like a slap in the face because kayfabe was basically fucking dead then. You know. Yeah. What do you think, Mr. RYK?
So, when you put it in the context of if the Attitude Era never happened, yes, Brett would stay on top. If Brett had never turned heel, I don't think he would have stayed on top. I think a heel Bret Hart without an Attitude Era could have worked. He could have milked that, doing the whole heel in America, face in Canada thing. That was good heat.
It was good.
And it was some of his best stuff because he was really bitching and complaining about his spine.
Yep. Not a spot, not a liver spot.
You're not. We're on it right now, Mr. Jason. And for the first time, I don't know if Josh has ever did too, but we're doing two. The first question was, would Bret Hart still be on top if the Attitude Era never happened? And for how long? While Jason listens to that first question, we're going to go ahead and move along to the second question I got. 96 HBK versus last year's Adam Cole. Who goes over?
Ooh.
I would say because I would
today
say
booking, not 96.
Not 96 booking, but today
not 96 booking. No.
Okay.
If it was 96 booking, Adam's laying.
Adam's
you know what I mean?
done.
For sure.
Adam's done. Yeah.
No. With today's booking and everything like that, I would give it to Adam Cole. Just because it would make, and if you do and I know they could do the match rate, it would still make Shawn look strong because Shawn was always good at getting the other guy over and making them, if they were supposed to be the heel, he could make them look as heel as hell. And if he needed to make them look face, he could do it. So he was always good in that role.
I'm going to agree with Gene on the premise that HBK could put over Adam Cole better than Adam Cole could put over HBK, and it would be better for business if it was done like that.
Yeah.
If this match was to happen, who would you have come in this match as the face, and who would you have come in as the heel? Because I think Adam and HBK both can play heels.
I think Shawn comes in as face, and Adam stays, but Beast is the heel. That's what I think.
Yeah.
You kind of could do the whole almost the same angle that Jericho and HBK did.
Yeah.
You know, you could almost do that same angle with those two. You know, he looked up to him all his life. He's even kind of built like Shawn. He does a lot of super kicks. I mean, so, well, there you have it. Top that one, Mr. President. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will come back with the news.
Yes.
Let me find a commercial break. I am so not in my element over here in Josh's column. All right, here we go.
And now I talk to the dead, 'cause the voices in my head refuse to tell me what I wanna hear. Hold my feet to the fire, throw my carcass to the cold. Save your sermon for the choir, 'cause I already know I told my troubles to the wind, and I made myself clear. I need some divine intervention.
Hey,
Oh, my
Come
goodness.
back.
I got to keep you on your toes. Of course, that's two great shows. You also got the Son. Y'all still doing the Son of Anarchy, correct?
That is correct. That is correct. We're just waiting to get back into the swing of things, but yes, me and Josh are still doing that. Yes,
Yeah, that's on what day, Gene?
that is on Sundays. Every Sunday at, I do believe, around 9 o'clock Central Time.
All righty. The other podcast, I think, is a bi-weekly show. If I'm correct.
Yes.
It's a bi-weekly every other Tuesday.
Every other Tuesday. Mhm.
What time is that one?
I think it's 10 Eastern, 9 Central.
10 Eastern, 9 Central.
Mhm.
Okay, I've not been messing with a whole lot here like you guys, so you have to forgive me. All right, well, it is William's favorite time.
Why does that intro always hit me like a ton of bricks?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
The first piece of news I have up is MLW has signed a contract with Vice. They will be running shows on Vice now. That's pretty big
That's huge.
That's huge for MLW.
Mhm.
Who's over there now?
Oh, man.
I know the Samoan one of actually, I think, The Rock's cousins is champion over there in MLW.
Another one.
With Team Contra and whatnot. They've got a pretty good range of people. I know most of their guys are working with New Japan Strong, as it is, the North American.
New Japan, yeah.
So
Also, the big talk of the past week or so, more WWE cuts. They cut Samoa Joe. They cut the Iconics. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all get what y'all think about the cuts first, because I actually have what I think is my argument on it. So y'all go ahead.
I'm mad about Joe. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know Joe was injury prone. Do not get me wrong, but I just feel like they got him over there and they pretty much wasted it. I mean, Impact was already bad enough to him, but then WWE got him. It was like, y'all hold my beer, and it's like I just feel that Joe got done wrong. In a way, I think Billie Kay got suspect too, both her and Peyton, because they were somewhat over as a tag team. Then they split them up, did nothing with them split up, and then bam, they both out the door. So those are ones that got me. I'm not really worried about Mickie James, because Mickie James is a Hall of Famer regardless.
Right.
So I'm not worried about Mickie, but it's just Joe and the Iconics. I think they did wrong.
it's always most surprising when they cut the people you just saw on TV, because they always do this, they always do this cleansing after WrestleMania. And when you see somebody that was just on the show get cut, it's like,
in a fucking thunderstorm.
right.
Yeah.
Poncho Joe was like out the door because you have to
Now, maybe Joe wanted to leave because they won't go let him wrestle. So I can sort of kind of see that. But still, man, waste of a talent.
Yeah, what I was just about to say was like he came in and they didn't overutilize on him. He had that one great run with
Mhm.
AJ Styles, and I think if they had to use that more and Joe wasn't so injury prone, I think it would have been a great story. They tried to recapture that with Kofi and Randy, but it's just the female ones weren't so bad to me. I could see that coming, but it was Joe. Joe just out of nowhere.
Joe the most. Joe got me the most, man. He got
But
me.
you know what? I mean, Joe has been, considered either a top guy or a pending top guy for 20 years now.
Mhm.
I saw Samoa Joe fight Kenta Kobashi for Ring of Honor in 2005. Well, that was almost 16 years ago now.
Yeah.
And when you think about it that way, he's coming up at the end of his run. So they're probably just saying, look, there's not a lot of mileage left with this guy, which is shitty, but it's business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
All right, here's my take on it. Don't y'all remember CM Punk sued the WWE doctors?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Remember that?
Everybody thrashed WWE for the way they treated CM Punk, keeping him forced to wrestle, pumping him full of antibiotics when he clearly needed to be out to be healing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Joe gets hurt, gets put on the sidelines. Joe does want back in the ring. That's where this problem started rotting from beneath.
Mm-hmm.
Joe wants back in the ring. The doctors won't clear him. From a business standpoint, if I got this guy sitting over here and paying all this fucking money to, and he's just sitting over here talking to a mic, when I should be having him making more money because he should be in the ring, I see why they cut him. Okay, I get why they cut him. It's kind of hypocritical. Like, I don't know. To me, it's hypocritical for me to get mad at WWE over this one with Joe, because this is the same thing that everybody got mad at him before when they treated CM Punk the way they did. So
Right.
it's kind of like a tight line. The Iconics was fucking stupid. They never should have broke them up to begin with.
Mm-mm.
I don't care if they're not that great in the ring. I'm not arguing how great they are in the ring. I know they're not the best two wrestlers in the ring, okay?
Hell no.
But WWE needs the fucking tag teams.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Especially in the women's division.
Yep.
You had chemistry with Billie Kay and Peyton. Why did you split them up? They were hilarious. They wasn't that great. They were not that talented when it comes to actually ring skills, but they're hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
That shit sells.
Mm-hmm.
And especially for a boring ass Monday fucking Night Raw, I need a chuckle every once in a while.
Right.
Because that shit's boring as hell. I couldn't even get through it this past Monday. I had to turn it off. So that part was stupid. Now, the thing that puzzles me the most is for like 4 years, somehow fucking Mojo Riley just now got cut. And he has dodged that shit for 4 years. So when I actually seen that he was cut, I smiled a little bit. I was like, it is about fucking time. Like, how did they keep this dude? How did he dodge him all that time?
He reminds me of that dude in Office Space. Who didn't know he was fired? He didn't even know he was fired.
they just kept sending him checks.
He just got the
And
news.
report
Oh my
about
god!
The rumor that's going around about Kevin Dunn hates Billy. Can't stand her. He's never liked her. There's a lot of backdoor politics that went on with Iconics, from what I hear. Kevin Dunn never liked them, didn't want them there, wasn't a fan. He's always gave Billie Kay shit from what I've been reading. So
now, from Billie Kay back in Shimmer, I don't know if some of that stuff started to resurface, but when she was in Shimmer back in the day, she had somewhat of an attitude problem with the girls in the back. So maybe that world is ugly head now. I don't know, but
you know when I knew it was over was when they let Peyton drop this big pop bomb of a promo and then went out there and lost.
Yeah,
that's when I said she's about to be gone. The thing about Billy is she was starting to get over with no fucking gimmick.
Yep.
Just going around with a piece of paper trying to, that shit was starting to get hilarious, dude. I laughed every time she did it.
They even pumped her up on Instagram with that same gimmick.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. Also, NXT ratings did go up. Speaking of CM Punk, CM Punk is now saying that he would entertain an offer if it meant that he would be working with good and fun people and it would be creative. And Ocean Spray's name has came up. So would you like to see CM Punk in New Japan?
I think, to be honest, you do it one off and you get him and Kenta just for a phenomenal match. Him and Kenta, you get that match out of the way. I think that's the match that needs to be done. Just because they both can hit that GTS really well.
Now, don't get it twisted, fans. He said it very, very clear. Why would I go back to WWE? It's just a boring ass show, and I would be just another guy on that boring show.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably not going to happen. So you're probably looking at AEW or New Japan. So
he could get that one good Japan tour because you know CM Punk's another one. He's coming up on 20 years, even though he hasn't
been wrestling active.
Yeah, you know. So
him or Myro Mento Suzuki.
I kind of like to see that. I like to see that. I like to see that.
Those two could go.
I think I always said that about Punk. People's like, he's never coming back. I said he'll be back. It might not be in a WWE ring.
Everybody got bills, baby. Everybody.
Well, I know Punk has an ego, so I feel like him alone for his legacy, like that's eating away at him because he's not doing nothing.
My only thing with CM Punk that bothers me, he so doesn't want to do business unless it's on his own terms. And that's the thing that pisses me off with Punk, because you're not going to get that all the time.
Well, you know, when you've got to that level, like somebody else that would only do business on their own terms was Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like, was he worth it? Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it was more about him protecting the character than it was doing business. Like he's not a mark for the business; he's a mark for himself.
Mm-hmm. And in a way, it's kind of like I almost respect him for it, because WWE calls him once a week and throws all kinds of money his way, like offers, and he's just like, out of self-pride, he's like, fuck y'all, I'm not working for you. So in a way, I kind of get it, man. I mean, in a way. So next topic of news. This was pretty funny. The whole Thunder Rose. Who wants to take this one? Because I it's hard for me to talk about it. It pisses me off.
Go ahead there, Will. Go ahead.
You want me to talk about Ivelisse? The whole thing.
Well, you are a fan, you said.
No, I love these Ivelisse in Shine. She wrestled very good in Shine. She was their world champion at the end of the day. When Ember Moon or Athena was there back in the day, they had a match. It was a phenomenal match that Athena/Ember Moon won. You see her, she has talent. She is so talented, but just another instance of attitude gone bad. You saw not selling in the ring, complaining to the management in the back is gonna get your ass fired.
Like I said, if y'all did not see that fucking video, the girl literally when she said she went,
come on, man.
Like
you know, it reminds me of that when Austin Aries was doing his last night in Impact. And everybody was like, "Oh, what's this gimmick he's just pulled off?" And he's like, "No, he was giving a fuck you to the guys up top. That was his last night."
Yeah.
And then the thing that kills me too, she has followers that will support her regardless of what goes down.
Oh yeah. And there's a lot of fan bases like that.
And this was her fault. But yet still they're making excuses for AEW.
I mean, fucking CM Hogan could kick a puppy and someone would defend him. You know,
well,
she just kills me, because at the end of the day, the talent is there, and it's being stifled by her attitude, and I hate that.
Yeah, and it also, honestly, it disrespects Thunder Rosa, because you're in the ring, you're supposed to help get your, it's about getting both people over. At the end of the day, making both people look good. So if you
Right.
get one person that just wants to be completely a douche or a dick and not, do business, it doesn't make the other person look any
Exactly.
better.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Now here's Thunder Rosa got to go on Instagram, Twitter, and all her social media platforms
Yeah.
and literally have to, stop a bushfire from happening because, your opponent in the ring didn't wanted to be some douche and not, to be kosher with business. It's fine if you have a gripe, you settle that outside after you've done the match. In the match, you give it your all.
And she's running out of places to go because WWE has already established they don't want her. You burned your bridge at AEW. Sean doesn't want her back. So unless Impact or the Women of Honor,
Welcome to Tessa
take her.
Blanchard's world, man.
Yeah, Tessa Blanchard's world, man. It's just a bad deal.
She's got that. She's got that Teddy Hart syndrome going for her, huh?
Exactly. I burn my bridge here. I burn my bridge here, and I burn my bridge here. Man,
They all gonna be working with Virgil, trying to chip in on the booth together. To make some money. Yeah. The next topic, the next thing up in the news, it ain't really news, but I'm gonna talk about it, and that's the new WWE documentary series they're doing on AE. It's an 8-part doc. They just had Steve Austin's they ran. Next week, this coming up week is Roddy Piper's. That one's going to be pretty fucking badass, man. I can't wait to see that one.
Man. I miss Roddy, man. One of the few people that didn't.
They're also doing the WWE Treasures, where yeah. Have you seen it? You haven't seen
I
it?
haven't seen it yet.
It's pretty cool.
I liked how they tried to persuade McFoley. McFoley wanted to find the original Socko, and he said to Triple H, I loved the line. He goes, well, if we can find the original Socko, and if there's any way that you guys can reset up the idea of having Vince McMahon in the bed, and I come up with a song, and Stephanie, without releasing a beat, she goes, if you can find the sock, we will do it. I'm like, oh.
I miss Piper.
It's basically just they're in a fucking everything they have is in a warehouse,
Right.
and they're trying to actually have a WWE museum. So,
Okay.
but there's parts missing. Like, they didn't have an original Mick Foley flannel. They didn't have the original Mankind shirt that he had, shit like that. So that's the shit they're trying to get their hands on and bring it back to the museum,
See, I like the treasure hunt aspect. I don't like I don't like the attitude that they're playing it from, where it's like we need to reclaim our history because so much of it is missing.
You should already
and it's
have that
out in the
history.
wild.
Right. You should already have that history.
Right.
And
Vince is like, we want it back, damn it.
it back, damn it.
no, Triple H plays it off. He goes, and it was so subtle about it to Mick. He's like, well, yeah, it's out there, and we're not trying to take it away from collectors. It's just that we want it so that we can display it and everybody can see it. A collector doesn't keep it away from people. He doesn't display it and see it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, dude, you just want to. Let's be honest. You just want to sell like a 10 cent admission to jump in.
I love it though. I love it though, because right before me and Missy was watching the show, and Missy, I think it was the sock. It was the part where they go to and get find the first original Socko or whatever, and he's got the sock, and Missy looks at me and goes, "How can you tell that man no? He's the man himself. How could you tell him no?" I said, go to the right fucking collector. And I'll be damned, they went to that next collector, and that dude was like, no. Because if you take this part of my Mick Foley collection, and it's already going to put me behind.
And the thing is, like, it's not like he stole that and it just ended up in his house or something. Like, he got that in a charity auction. They sold it to him, and now they want to buy it back because they have, remorse.
I feel like he got a hell of a deal though, because for that he got a tour of the warehouse, and they gave him the 2x4 that was in his and Triple H's match for the flannel that he had. So
he played hardball and he won.
Yeah, he did, man. He didn't just want the board in He didn't just want the board in the fucking thing. He said, "I want that and $2,500." And they was like, "Oh no, we can't do that." This is after he done got a tour of the warehouse.
Exactly.
Man,
he probably only paid $900 for the flannel, right?
Yeah. What was the other dude? He got Mick Foley's coming to his house for a pay-per-view watch.
Yeah. Well, it's,
Yeah, because he had the original Mankind shirt.
Right.
Noticed
The
it right
leather
from
one,
he had the leather one. Pretty good show, man. I think it's going to get pretty interesting. But the documentary part's going to be way better. So
Yeah. Always is.
y'all got
I
any
don't-
more news that I'm missing?
and I don't know how they put the valuations on those treasures when they like kind of flash by them. You know, like who decided that's what the price is? Like,
Right. Well,
Right.
you know, I don't know. They must have been pretty close because when he offered him $7,500 for that shirt, that dude was like, "Ugh."
mhm.
You could kind of see the like, well, I only gave 2 G's for it. You know, you can see it in his head like crazy.
Yes.
If I keep paying my cards right, you know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
hell yeah. We're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, it'll be the topic of the night, which is about ring gear and entrances.
Back of the goal, LaCroix's move. He scores! He did it again! Andrei Svechnikov, his second LaCroix-style goal. Left wing, across the line. Next move by Milano. Walking right in, scores! What a goal!
Between the touchdown and the field goal, that's an excellent hustle.
Rashad Tuttle, whose uncle Terry Tuttle. Again, he's got a wide open tight end on the outside. Dawson Knox breaks a few tackles, barrels for another one. He's inside the 25-yard line. Do what we do offensively. But his man, Juszczyk fights his way, still fighting his way.
That is the sports report, and y'all moved that to Mondays, correct?
We're on Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Join myself, Gene, Tony C, and TDC will be on the show this week. Yeah, boy. Trash player of the week. Trash
Player of the week. And that ain't going to be hard to find. I already seen a couple this week that I thought was complete garbage. So, topic of the night. Y'all want to start with the ring entrances or y'all want to start with the gear? Or you want to combine the two?
We can combine the two.
Combine the two. All right. We'll start off with who do you think has who is some of y'all's favorite entrances?
Rob Van Dams.
Rob Van Dams. I like his tights too, so that's
He's got good gear, yeah. The custom airbrush on the singlet.
Yep.
I think the entrance for me that really started the whole over the top entrance thing was Goldust.
Ooh, I like that. I
love the Shattered Dreams.
I like
Shattered Dreams. Yeah, the cinematic camera angle, the gold circles.
Because it fit the gimmick perfect.
Right.
It was
remember in the early 90s. I don't know if this was a counter to Glacier's snow, but don't you remember it used to
Mother Glacier. Yep.
And you remember Glacier had the snow, but then Goldust in the early 90s at times he would have the Goldust falling.
Right.
You know,
right.
and I always thought that shit was cool too.
Yeah,
the gold
cool.
sparkles coming down. That was like one of the first grandiose entrances, and that gimmick was made by the entrance.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I can talk about Goldust for hours. I love Goldust. That was definitely a gimmick that they dropped the fucking ball on. It was something that could have been so much more badass than what they made it out to be.
I mean, he did it 3 times. He was able to be Goldust go away, come back, be Goldust again, and he was a different Goldust every time.
Now is that stuff with him and Booker was hilarious to me. It was hilarious for him.
Black and gold.
Yep. That black and gold. Yep. I loved it, man.
Say a big grandiose entrance that I adored or loved listening to for a tag team had to be the LOD. When you heard What a Rush, and then seeing the big old, Max Mad Max Thunder pads coming out, and you just knew badass was coming, like something bad was about to happen in that ring. You hear that entrance, and that just gets your blood going. You're just like, yeah, let's do this.
And a lot of the entrances were based on the music fitting the character. And then as the technology got better, you got the lasers and the fire and all that.
Oh, yeah.
But it really comes down to starting with the music, the glass shattering for Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan comes crashing down, Warrior with the dun 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 dun.
Yep.
Bret Hart had
And I'm gonna say, and I'll say it. All he had was a fucking entrance, man.
Hey, that's all he needed.
That's all he needed.
That's all he had. That motherfucker, like he done did 2 rails of coke, and he just start and never stop.
Hey, can Taz get some love for his entrance?
Yeah.
Taz, yes, I like Taz's entrance.
That's another dude. That's another dude that would be just ruined. Just ruined him.
I liked how he showed up though in New York against Kurt Angle.
I remember.
In Royal Rumble, like that was badass. Like just to hear the boop, 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 dun, dun, you know what I mean? They played it well. They did it well.
Do you? Okay, there's a lot of. We'll talk about this also. There's a lot of complaints I've seen from fans, especially older school fans. That says today's music is shitty that they don't take no time on it anymore. I guess what they're talking about a lot of them from the standpoint is that if you remember, a lot of WWE songs used to actually have fucking lyrics.
That's true. That's true.
Now it don't. It's just a beat. So, and of course, one of those reasons being because a long time Jim is not there to fucking write music anymore for them.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna knock on it too much today because sometimes there's still interests I like. I mean, I don't care if they're simple.
I love Kurt's.
I always loved Kurt Angle's.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
I was a Kurt Angle fan though. So.
Yeah, me too.
And that actually didn't have any lyrics. That was just a beat again.
That's
and that's even Jimmy Johnson wrote it.
Oh, they made lyrics for it.
Oh yeah. The fans gave it lyrics.
That's got to be like one of the most iconic entrances of all time, just because of that shit. Anything that interacts with the fans like that, I feel like is a big thing.
Yeah.
And of course, you got to put. Let's see. You got to put Michaels's up there.
Shawn Michaels, yeah,
you got to put Michaels up there.
And what's funny with Shawn Michaels? It wasn't so much the entrance and the theatrics of it; it was him.
Yeah,
the way the character made the entrance made Shawn Michaels like.
Well, it is kind of funny for you to walk around and dress in some of the shit he dressed in and call yourself the Heartbreak Kid, and
yes,
you're like a muscle, big bound sport at the time, especially for Shawn when he started that gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
It was still days of muscle guys,
right?
So. That's what made it funny a lot of times, he was this arrogant, cocky ass. So let's see. I'm gonna try to think of some ring gear now.
I want to say for ring interest real quick. WCW Brian Pillman, not WB Brian Pillman, WCW.
I don't remember what his entrance.
He had 3. He had 3 in WCW, but the first one I loved.
When he was the Bengal.
Yep.
Just before we move on,
I love
one
Brian
guy that
Pillman
I'd like to say for ring entrances, and I know this is not a WWE guy, but go to New Japan and watch some of the great Muta's ring entrances. Ooh. Phenomenal ring entrances.
Speaking of that, look at Ultimo Dragon.
I was just about to say that. I used to love Ultimo Dragons when he'd come out. Yeah. Especially when he had like damn 20 fucking titles.
And 19 titles around his doggone body.
Man. And then you'd watch him. The bad thing was he would show up on WCW, have all these championships up his arms, down it, Sonny Ono carrying a couple for him.
Yeah.
And then fucking lose. That's WCW booking for you right there in a nutshell. You're like, oh my God, this dude's going to kill everyone. Look at all those belts he's got.
But another one that goes with that ring entrance and also the gear would be Undertaker as well.
I'm gonna bring up
without the entrance and how his presence was in the ring, they go hand to hand. It makes the gimmick.
That's true. Like that gimmick made Mark Calloway a 30-year guy.
Yep.
He would have been another, Godfather.
He went from a dead man to an MMA fighter dead man.
I'm gonna say a
Basically,
name.
his gimmick went.
I'm gonna say a name that might draw me some heat, but fuck it. Chris Benoit.
I like this entrance.
I love this entrance. I loved it, man. I loved it. And then he had that intense look about him to go with the entrance. Beautiful.
What did he look like he was gonna do?
Man.
He looked like he's gonna try to take it.
Yeah, he was gonna take you. Yeah. Oh man.
And it would be embarrassing as hell to have it took from a damn dude that's like he's 4'3", but he's wide as a fucking door.
Yeah. He was amazing. I don't care what people say. In the ring, he was amazing. I know he had issues out, but in the ring, he was amazing.
Another one that had a really good entrance, but also his ring attire went well. Was also Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho learned model everything as he got going. Like even you could see it in WCW. Like he started realizing like he could get annoying things over, but then when he started getting into the WWE and marrying his gear to what he was coming out doing, he hit it all the time.
Oh yeah.
Well, all right. At what point did Goldberg have to start walking a quarter mile to the ring for his matches?
That's a fucking because it was like they did it once or twice in WCW, and then WWE just like hung on to that shit forever.
Every damn time he comes out of the last room on the left to get to the building.
That's a hell of a trivia question. Tell me when Bill Goldberg, what episode of Nitro did he start getting security guards? That's a hell of a trivia. What episode did Bill Goldberg start having security guards in his entrance?
That's probably, I guarantee that was an Eric Bischoff idea.
I believe it.
Yeah. But just think somebody telling you, okay, this is the sitting in creative or whatever, and they go, okay, so here's what you're going to do. We want you to bang your head up against the door, and then we're going to have somebody come to the door and go, Bill, it's time. And then we're going to walk you to the ring, this long-ass walk. And then, by the way, once you get there, it's not done yet. We're going to start putting pyro around you, and you're going to start huffing the smoke. And then we want you to get all intense, and then you're just going to do a match, and it's like 5 seconds. There you go.
I can't stand Bill Goldberg.
The
I'll be honest. I hate him.
He's the best 5-minute athlete in the world.
5 minutes, he's gassed.
5 minutes, and he done.
Look at the match between him and William Regal, and you tell me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
William Regal took that boy to school.
He did. He did.
And I wonder how he felt about that time, because Bill already had a big ego.
Yep.
So I wonder how he felt when that out of shape, almost looking British guy who's pale white. He
stretched his ass,
stretched him out, shit out of him, man, and made him holler. He needs to go to Hall.
He needs to go to the Hall of Fame just for that.
There's another guy. Look at the ring gear that William Regal has had from the time when he was in the Blue Bloods, like that thing. And then, ironically enough, Triple H sort of used some of that ring gear when he started off as the sophisticated aristocrat when he came into the WWE. But it's funny to see the different changes of William Regal for his ring gear to the point of where he is now, and now he's just a general manager, and still that'd be a guy you don't want to you wouldn't want to get him pissed off.
Well, I guess we got to talk about Triple H also if we're going to talk about entrances. It's not always
I like his Mania
favorite of everybody's, but
ain't mine.
They're super overkill, some people believe. So
I was never a fan of Triple H. I think he was an upper mid-carder that married the boss's daughter, and the only thing Triple H had that Val Venus didn't was Stephanie.
Right.
That's brutal, man. Did you really just compare fucking Hunter to fucking Val?
I mean, and because of Stephanie, he got a lot of wins he shouldn't have gotten. I mean, I still say Booker T was whipping his ass, and then at the end of, and then like a minute in, he steals the victory. Come the hell on, man.
If we're gonna talk about ring gear, and it's funny that you just brought this up, Will. Ric Flair had some of the best ring gear.
He did
for the money that he paid for some of those robes. Like, come on, like he wore pink ones, red ones, blue ones. They're still trying to find the 1992 infamous butterfly Ric Flair robe.
I remember the 92.
You know what I mean?
I used to like some of the shit that Hogan wore when he was NWO Hogan. His tights were. I mean, I love the boots with the blue flame on it and shit.
Yeah,
that shit was tight as fuck, man.
Yeah.
I love
that.
Of course, now, I do not condone that racist bastard. Now, let's make that very clear. But back then, I was in '96. Hogan was my guy. You know what I'm saying? He was my guy.
Ultimate Warrior.
I agree. You want to know what's the most ironic thing I've ever heard in my life was Ultimate Warrior talking about Hulk Hogan being a cokehead.
Yeah,
I about fell out of my fucking chair. Now, I ain't gonna lie, he roasted the shit out of Hogan though, but I laughed at that, but it was ironic as shit.
Like, this is how much I can't stand that motherfucker. One, y'all know I love Legend action figures. I've seen the Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 1 like 10 times. I refuse to give any money towards that man's legacy. Same thing with that shirt we were talking about, Tommy. I think it's WrestleMania 3 that has him on it. I love the shirt. It's an awesome shirt. But the fact that his face is front and center, I won't buy it. Because he's a racist, homophobic, misogynistic piece of shit.
But speaking of memorabilia, I'll tell you something else I like. Chris Jericho's light up jacket.
Oh. Okay, if we're going to talk about ring gear, probably Jericho is one of the most undersold on his gear. Because that man always had just, like, his gear always sold his gimmick. Whether he was Lionheart Jericho, whether he was Fozzy Rock and Roll Jericho. Like, his gear, even now, like, he even has the old rock star look so well for the gimmick now. Like, it just... The man has never been given the credit.
The light bright jacket, I love it because it's one of the best.
Jacket was awesome, man. It was awesome.
It set up some of the best lines later on, especially like with Dean Ambrose. He's like, "You owe me $20,000 for that jacket."
I love what Dean Ambrose does. One of the lights on this jacket. He's like, "I got it for you, Chris," and he passes it to him in the ring. What's this? Like, Christmas lights hanging off.
And where the fuck did he get the price? $20,000. He said, "You owe me $20,000 for that jacket that you destroyed."
So, quick question: who do y'all think has the most overrated entrance?
I think we said it, and that was Bill Goldberg's was the most overrated.
Well,
it didn't.
Bill Goldberg is the most overrated wrestler in the world. So,
like, it was that flash in the pan pop that you got. You know, you hear the music, you see the pyro, you see Goldberg, and then after that, you could really care less about the match.
I agree with this.
It was 5 minutes.
I agree with this.
I see that.
Yeah.
I agree too.
John Cena. Oh shit, Cena's here, guys. Who's jobbing out tonight?
Who's jobbing out tonight?
I might get a lot of backlash for this, but does anybody else feel like Taker's was too much, too long, just too drawn out? Like,
which one?
Not the American Badass. Like, that one was perfect. It wasn't too long.
I'm not gonna lie. If they had those weeks where he would come out when he was still the dead man, and him doing that shit every week, it does get a little.
It made sense.
Come on, man.
It made sense for a pay-per-view or for something like that. Right. But when he was wrestling every week on SmackDown, and it took 10 minutes from his intro to start the match. It was just like, Jesus, come on. I'd usually change and come back.
I like the wrestler, but I think his promo was getting old. Big Show.
I would agree that because his intro had not changed since he came in to WWE, basically.
That's crazy how like he had the same music since 1999.
They added, I think in like 2002 is when they added the
Big Show, but it still stayed the same.
Yeah, the song was exactly the same. It was just that little bit at the.
They added.
I always hated Rybacks. I always hated
Rybacks was the worst.
Oh, Ryback.
Yeah.
I'll tell
Ryback
you
was
one of the
trash.
best songs for an entrance though. Fucking Batista's. Batista had one of the best entrance songs ever.
I walk alone.
Edge has got one of the best ones too.
I walk alone.
I liked Edge's original. Do y'all remember?
Yes, I remember Edge's original. Yep.
On 95.
Yep.
I love that.
That was his original one was, you think you know me, you think you know me, and then the screen would go every which way.
I like the Bruce. Speaking of him, I like the Bruce interest too.
Yeah,
I mean, Bruce was classic.
Coming up, yeah.
That's like Rey Mysterio. That's a classic entrance with him popping. And even though you could talk shit on him, early Sin Cara's entrance where he'd run down the ramp and hit the trampoline and do the flip over the rope was pretty badass. Now it got really old really quickly.
Oh yeah,
but
that's fucking fast as Rey Mysterio's did.
I mean, I agree. Ray's got old real fast.
I like to knock his little ass out of the sky one more time.
Why you gonna do that to Ray, man? Come on, man. Do that to Ray.
Fuck Rey Mysterio.
All right. I'd like to see Rey Mysterio just once wear one of those full body suits.
Mid-90s Rey Mysterio, fuck yes. WCW Rey Mysterio and the Cruiserweights, fuck yes. WWE Rey Mysterio,
no. He did the one thing I will say though.
The Eddie story up until once he won his championship, he was okay.
Bro, he's been telling that fucking Eddie story for 20 damn years.
The one thing I would say that's where his WWE career went to shit. Like it was pretty good up until then. After that, he could never get another.
The one thing I will say about Ray, he never got his rematch.
He didn't need it.
He never got it back. He never got
Rey Mysterio is one of those guys that never needed to hold a world heavyweight title. He's so over. He's so well loved. Even people who don't watch wrestling know who Rey Mysterio is.
Yep.
Because WWE no-sold his losing the mask and just put it back on him, which is the single biggest disrespect to Lucha Libre that's ever been done.
This is the same shit they did to his eyeball too, man.
And nobody, and RYK, to your point, no one ever talks about that.
Right.
Well,
never talked about that.
Truly, he's lost his mask 3 times. He's lost it in AAA, he lost it in WCW, and he lost it in WWE. So,
one guy that I think needs not an upgrade on his entrance, but I think could deserve some little bit more pizzazz would be Walter. I like Walter's entrance the way it is now, but there could be some added frills that could
spice it up a little bit.
I think because of Walter, and he is that no frills wrestler, he doesn't need that. I think his bare bones, like just smash mouth intro is really good.
Yes, he's primitive as a wrestler, and so he can get that.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna throw out a reference to who we're all praying for right now. He's like Big Sweet.
Yeah.
Big Sweet doesn't need all that frill and gimmick and shit. He can just go off the cuff. That is Walter. Walter doesn't need all those frills and shit. He's just gonna knock you the fuck out.
You guys like Bobby Lashley's entrance?
I liked his entrance at Impact better than I like his entrance now.
I ain't feeling WWE's.
I actually don't mind it, the Almighty. I think it fits him to what he needs to be. It's got him over more than Impact. His first entrance when he first came in, just him going like this, and you know what I mean. This Almighty fits more to.
I just like
the
Impact's
character
better. Impact's entrance just carries a little more weight to me.
Does anybody feel like The Rock's once he got like Hollywood that? It's good. I hated that intro. I did
not like the Hollywood.
I hated the whole like 30 seconds of the helicopter flying in. And like
I ain't like that at all. It was too long.
I hated it, but I can respect it from a heel perspective because it's always talked about making the people wait. Anticipation He hailed you for 30 minutes. You were like, fuck no. But you would wait because you were waiting for it's good.
Sorry,
And
my
then
internet
you
said,
talk.
fuck you, Tommy.
You know, with The Rock, it's like as his entrance evolved over time, it's like imagine if Stone Cold's glass shattering just went for longer and longer instead of being the one pop, and it was like.
Tommy, we're talking about The Rock's entrance after he came back with the Hollywood when they had the helicopter. And it was like 30 fucking. Yes, I hated that intro. Hated it.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
I was never a Rock person. I'll be honest with you. I thought he was okay in the Nation of Domination and shit, but as far after that, I just because he was right there with Austin. I was an Austin guy, and I even seen Rocky as a threat to take over for Austin. So like, I didn't like it.
You know what's unique about The Rock is that whether he was a heel or a baby face, he was the exact same character that said the exact same shit, and you either loved it or hated it.
Yeah, that's true. That's
true. Early heel Rock was he really tried.
I loved what he did with Kane. You Rudy Poo Candy ass. Love that shit.
So before we take off out of here, I got another question. Greatest non-WCW WWE entrance.
Oh, I
know someone's going to say
Okada.
Oh, that's a good one.
The Rainmaker.
That is a good one. I was gonna bring up Kenny Omega.
You're talking about Omega's New Japan?
I'm talking New Japan. I'm talking when he did the Terminator, that entrance alone, doing the 92 and coming up with a bunch of group of Japanese guys and asking them for, hey, I need your shoes, your boots, your clothes. I need, you know what I mean? The whole replaying of Terminator 2, and then to get the fans to all, you know what I mean? Like he had soul. That was probably one of the best.
It's gotta be better than the fucking intro he's got in AEW. I hate that thing. I hate it.
Oh, the one with the broom girls.
The broom girls and like the 5 or minute long introduction from my boy, like PWI's number 1. He was AEW second time world champion. Blah 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 blah.
You know what else I remember fondly was Al Snow in ECW when they give everybody in the crowd the styrofoam mannequin heads and they'd all throw them at the ring.
Yeah.
Honestly, this goes off the questions. One of the greatest WWE entrances was Bray when Bray was super over and everybody pulled out their cell phones as Fireflies. Not when they tried to make him over, when he was organically over. And the whole stadium would pull up their cell phones for the Fireflies. That was one of the greatest entrances.
You got the whole world in his head.
But then they had to go and kill him.
Oh, gee, you stupid.
But I would say I loved Sting's intro in TNA. I thought he had a really awesome intro. I also loved Kurt Angle's music in TNA. Was really cool and different. But
I always liked Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Ravens was cool. Vader's WCW entrance was cool, even though it was over the fucking top. Even though it was way over the top, you know.
Diamond Dallas Page. DDP had a good intro.
I love Ember Moons when she was in WSU because her entrance back then was Centuries.
What else? Oh, did y'all? I didn't know if I know y'all probably didn't talk about. Did y'all see Kylie Ray is returning to wrestling for a third fucking time? And did y'all see who she's facing in her first match?
I didn't see that. Who she wrestling?
She's facing Thunder Rosa's tag partner Holly Dead, one of the girls who slap chopped me. I hope Holly Dead beats the shit out of her because I'm sorry. This whole I have mental issues and I can't be in wrestling, but in 3 months I'm coming back. Oh, and then I'm gonna quit again, and then I'm coming back.
You gotta make your mind up. You either in it or you ain't.
Get some fucking Zoloft or something, bro.
You either in it or you ain't.
Personally, I don't think her mental health can handle wrestling. Personally, it just doesn't seem like it can. But
maybe she needs to be stretched out by a women's version of Iron Sheik.
Put her in a room at Nia Jax and that'll end it. You gotta end it.
Now we'll fuck up her vertebrae and then tweet about it and laugh.
And then she can't say I'll be back in 3 months because you're gonna be going longer than that, cuz.
Did anybody watch Raw this week?
Tommy tried.
I tried. I couldn't do it.
I heard it was one of the worst Raws in like years. Like it was that bad.
The only thing that I thought was funny was Matt Riddle beating Randy. That shit made me laugh. I ain't gonna lie. Riddle cracks me up from time to time. I don't care if he's annoying. I like the fact that he's annoying. I need a fucking laugh on Raw.
And he is literally one of the only things that Raw I feel has going. Like it's just stale.
There's nothing new going on.
Boring. And like
that motherfucker said, "Congratulations on your win, bro. We should form a tag team and call it RK Bro."
I was so excited for Lashley to be champion, and it's boring. Like it's just boring.
You're talking about the two guys that got their masks removed. Slapjack and T-Bar and all of them, and
yeah, fucking Slapjack's going to SmackDown. It's please. I hope they go quit calling him fucking Slapjack.
But like Gene said, Gene brought up a good point last week. They kind of paint themselves in the corner with Bobby because who's your next contender? Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you do now?
It's gonna be Drew. But
I mean,
the whole Drew storyline is not over. If they,
with Bobby Lashley, it's great. The storyline is good. There's miles on it. What we're talking about is with Roman Reigns. They've painted themselves in a corner with Roman Reigns now.
Okay, it's Roman. Okay,
by showcasing both Daniel Bryan and Edge by him beating them. Yeah, it's great. He looks strong, but truly, from a writer's perspective, you're now in a corner. Who are you going to get to face Roman Reigns? I would say you'd go Big E, but here they are trying to make it look like Cesaro, which I would put Cesaro running for the Intercontinental title and have Big E move him up to that heavyweight title perspective.
And if I'm going back to Bobby for a second, if it's Drew, good Lord. I mean, if you put the title on Drew, it's like, damn, but it's okay if you don't. It'll cause the same impact. Yeah, they're two big dudes. They wrestle the same. They're almost a carbon copy of each other. It's not going to be anything that's like exciting.
It's okay with, and from a story perspective, look at Batista and Triple H. When Batista became champion, you had 3 pay-per-views where you got Batista and Triple H back to back in the main event, but it was entertaining the entire time. The story was able to sell well, and that's what the WWE is doing here with Drew and Bobby Lashley. They're both they're two big guys. They're going at it hard, and they both are just trying to say, I'm the dominant champion, and I want to take dominance, and they're booking it correctly. They gave him a clean win, gave Bobby a clean win at WrestleMania. So at this Backlash, you can do what you need to do with whatever you're trying to do with the slapjack and whatnot, and have it, shenanigan type finish. And then on the third one, have Drew actually clean, get over, and make him champion, and then run with that again.
Because
it gives you time.
Same thing.
It gives you time story wise to get somebody else from that mid card and bring them up, so that when you get Drew as champion, you have somebody in replace. You have somebody waiting. SmackDown screwed themselves and how they did their finish at Mania. You bury 2 guys, and now you're trying to go, Cesaro's on a hot streak. Yeah, we'll just throw Cesaro against, Roman Reigns. That would work. Nobody wants that. They want Big E. You bring that next guy up who lost his Intercontinental title. You push Cesaro with the Intercontinental title and the Nigerian dude there, Apollo, and you get a Big E Roman Reigns feud.
Right.
That's how I would do that, but they didn't, and they're not going to. So just some bad booking on the SmackDown side of things.
All right, boys, that's about to call it for the evening. Since I was late, I don't know what commercials have ran and not been ran. So, did Tommy run another real podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
He did.
Yeah.
Did he run the new sports report?
He ran an old one. He ran an old one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the only thing left is the one that Tommy's not here for then, his own show. So, guys, we'll be right back with this commercial break, and then we'll get you out of here.
Your butt is wide, well, mine is too. Just watch your mouth, or I'll sit on you. The word is out, better treat me right. Cause I'm the king of cellulite. Ham on whole wheat. Alright. My zippers bust, my buckles break. I'm too much man for you to take. The pavement cracks when I fall down. I've got more chins than Chinatown. When I never used a phone booth, when I never seen the toes. When I'm going to the movies, I take up 7 rows because I'm fat, I'm fat. Come on, you know I'm fat, I'm fat. You know it, you know I'm fat, I'm fat. Come on, you know. Don't you call me Pudgy Portly.
And guys, that is the Hooded Warriors Eat St. Louis. That will be coming out very soon. Make sure you check that out. And as well, Gene, you ready to announce?
I'm ready. So I think it is now. We come to
May 1st.
Sunday. Is it?
Yes. Yes. Hang on.
This coming Sunday.
Not this coming Sunday.
Oh, not this coming Sunday. Next coming
It'll
Sunday.
be
Okay.
the first Sunday, Sunday the 2nd. I'm sorry,
Sunday the 2nd. Nice. Okay, May the 2nd, and we are going to have this little ditty coming for you.
Hang on, I'm loading. Talk about the show.
Well, the show. Before I give the name away, because I want the intro gives it to you, but the show is basically going to be our recap-based show. We're going to be recapping the NXT, AEW, all types of news, events, anything that's happening in the realm of professional wrestling. Unlike the Paradigm Shift. Paradigm Shift, we talk about topics and ring gear and whatnot, but we're going to focus more on some shows, plus also some indie stuff as well, like local shows, things that might be happening. And
basically, if you've been with Pinfall for a while, you might remember TNSP. This is our new show with one of our new people in Pinfall. Check this out.
Yeah, I'm a legend, I ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. Yeah, it's showtime, you could call me Rolex. Everybody wanna watch me. And I ain't never been second string, boy. I'm a reason why they came out. Yeah, all I do is go hard. Best believe I ain't looking for no way out. All I do is win. 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 Yeah. It's going down tonight. Woo. Yeah. It's going down tonight. It's going down tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah.
You can check that out starting Sunday, May 2nd. That is the BOAT Best podcast of all time. And make sure you check that out with Gene and our newest host, Batsy. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you check out Another Real Podcast on Tuesday. We're going to be talking about 90s movies. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. And everything we've got coming on Pinfall, guys. Got more stuff coming down the road. Big things happening. Mr. RYK, we appreciate you gracing us with your presence today, sir.
Anytime you have to talk about entrances, you can just come to RYK.
Yeah. I was going to bring up with the entrances, my entrance, because I know how that feels when you have to do the whole Kenny Omega type entrance. You must feel that every time.
But guys, thank y'all for holding it down. I fell today and sprained my wrist, so I was at the doctor trying to get it figured out. But I got a great team that covers for me every time. So,
and once again, we want to say sorry to Tommy's Wi-Fi. Tommy's Wi-Fi not allowing him to be here.
Tommy's Wi-Fi. Tommy's Wi-Fi made you rest.
Peace. Peace. All right, boys, and I got to give another credit because we got another a new closing track from our very own Mr. Mean Gene.
Yes.
So this is pretty awesome, guys. All these new intros, all this stuff, we got to give a shout out to Mr. Gene. He was gone for 2 weeks, and now he's been working his butt off. So,
sir.
All right, guys.
KW, thank you for being here.
Thank y'all for joining us, guys. We'll see y'all next week. Next week, we're going to be doing pay-per-view look back. Check for we'll be discussing on which one we're going to be looking back on. So check the show, find out what we'll be discussing, check it out, and come join us next week. Guys, y'all have a great week, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday.